What's going on, YouTube world? Welcome back to Little Bit Man Gaming, bringing you. Know what time it is? I got the bell on my shoulder. Means it's a time for another review. This time, once again, Smackdown. So we're gonna review Smackdown. Watch Smackdown. Gonna give you my thoughts and my opinions about what I thought about that show in particular. If you could do me a favor and hit that like, subscribe, and share in the notification button, lets me know that you like videos like this and lets you know you want more videos like this in the future. Also, we're trying to get to a goal of 100 subscribers. Yeah, so if you could do all that, hit that, all that, the like, subscribe, all that stuff, greatly appreciate it. With that being said, without further ado, time for Little Bit Man's review of SmackDown. So we start off SmackDown with, guess what? A promo of the big dog, Roman Reigns, the head of the table, the man that makes everything possible. Him and his family is the reason why every wrestler has what they has right now in catering and all that type of stuff, right? So yeah, the first segment is Roman Reigns comes out. He cuts a promo. He starts off SmackDown with cutting a promo about how he's angry, how basically he won't say he's angry, won't even admit it, but he's basically angry how I'm about to say Paul Heyman, but Adam Pearce and Kevin Owens pulled a fast one on them last week, and because it was supposed to, Roman Reigns tried to set it up where it was Adam Pearce was supposed to fight him at the Royal Rumble for the WWE Universal Championship, and they pulled a fast one because they used a loophole in the contract which says subject card subject to change, basically meaning that if a competitor, if a match is already set in stone and the competitor can't compete, there's always a loophole to replace that competitor with another competitor, like a runner-up or the next best person that can compete for the title at that particular pay-per-view. And in this case, since Adam Pearce was unable to compete at Royal Rumble or would be medically cleared due to an injury that he supposedly sustained, one of them old injuries that just creep up, he would no longer be able to compete. So they duped him into signing the contract so that Kevin Owens could come out and take Adam Pearce's place. So now it'll be Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens at the Royal Rumble in the last man standing match for the WWE Universal Championship. So this opening segment was basically Roman stating his frustrations. It was a good promo too. I won't lie, it was a good promo because he basically stated that he's the workhorse of the WWE. That he would never that he does. It took a pandemic in his health to keep him away from WWE. And that he don't miss appearances and all that. So he was, and then he went from he went in the promo from talking about him not missing appearances to basically making fun of Adam Pearce for using that loophole to get out of his match with Roman Reigns. And then, Adam Pearce, he gets upset, he frustrated, he comes out, he trying to tell Roman, okay, this is enough, this is going too far, because before that, Roman started talking about something, will he do the same thing? Cause he got old. He said he got old injuries too. Like he said, his ankle still hurt from college because he played football in college and stuff. And they were saying his old ankles hurts from college. And he got back problems and elbow and chest problems. He got all these problems that he could use too to say, hey, well, I might not be able to compete at Royal Rumble myself. Then if we start doing, as I start being like he said, I think he put in his words, a bitch like Adam Pearce. So Adam Pearce come out and try to tell him, hey, this is going too far. None of this needs to happen. And I also I never realized it until now, where Roman puts on the title, he stretches, he snugs the title on to him it fits perfect on his chest and stuff. But yeah, he comes out basically trying to calm Roman down, telling him this, but then Roman gets in his face, gets angry at him, And then Paul Heyman started running off at the mouth. And, Adam Pearce said, okay, enough is enough. I could take the physical intimidation from the physical and verbal intimidation from Roman Reigns, but I'm definitely not going to take it from you. So basically, Paul Heyman gets his face, and Paul Heyman challenges Adam Pearce to a match later on the night, which was a unique twist. Paul Heyman actually putting himself in the match, but then it's a funny little backstage segment later on the night about that. So then, there was I think it was a commercial break, and then comes back. You got Sami Zayn protesting, handcuffing himself to the barricade. He's protested that there's a conspiracy going on against him in the WWE because the way how he's been treated when he was Intercontinental Champion, how he was put in the Intercontinental Championship match, and that made him that he lost in I think it was a lumberjack match that he lost to Big E to lose his Intercontinental Championship. And then Sammy, he basically protested that. He got a little documentary crew. He's got, I guess, a self-appointed documentary coming out, whatever. So he's documenting how the injustice and the injustice and the conspiracy with the High-Ups, how they've been treating them. But then he's cut off by Asuka because the first match of the night was Asuka and Charlotte versus the Riot Squad. Now, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I don't know if it was for the titles or not. I don't know if it was just if the if the Riot Squad beat them, they would have got a future title match. But it was the Riot Squad versus Asuka and Charlotte. And Sammy, and I say this because Sammy would literally stay out there the whole night. He would be out there the whole night to protest. Where is it? Oh, yeah, there you go. He'd be out there all night to protest, basically his injustice. And so, with that being said, like I said, the first match of the night was Asuka and Charlotte versus the Riot Squad, which was an okay match, I guess. The bigger story here was that I knew that Asuka and Charlotte was going to win because they said in this whole story with Billie Kay. Billie Kay was out there. She's trying to be the third member of the Riot Squad, and it's just not working out. She yet again cost them another match. This time was a big match because this match could have got them a future title shot or won the championship, either or. I don't know if it was for the championship or not, but she cost in the match, which caused Asuka and Charlotte to pick up the victory. So then we move on to let's see. Oh, there was a backstage segment with Billie Kay and Liv Morgan where I think they just basically broke up. They not broke up, but they told Billie Kay that she couldn't be a part of the Riot Squad, and that was basically that. They just basically had a little backstage segment where she was like, yeah, you can't be part of the Riot Squad because, it just, you're part of the problem that we're having right now instead of part of the solution. So then, throughout the night, they've been hyping up the obstacle course challenge between Bayley and Bianca Belair, and they also been hyping up this intergender, I guess you would call it a match with Sasha Banks versus Reginald, which was one of the most unique, which was a unique match of the night. Because I guess the whole theme of that episode was unique matches. Because you got Adam Pearce versus Paul Heyman, and you have then you got Sasha Banks versus Reginald, which we'll get to that. But and then you have the Ultimate Athlete Challenge with Bayley and Bianca Belair. So then the next segment we got which I don't know, I'm probably not going in order because this is the order I remember it. It's probably not in actual order, but we got the Cesaro. It got Daniel Bryan. He comes out and cut a promo about him about him declaring for the Royal Rumble, about him wanting to be in the Royal Rumble because that's one thing that he's never done in his career, and that's become a Royal Rumble winner. And he's cutting a promo about becoming a Royal Rumble winner, or wanting to win the Royal Rumble. And Cesaro comes out and crashes the party and crashes the promo and tells Daniel Bryan that he is going to win the Royal Rumble because he not only did he have momentum, he's been dominating Daniel Bryan, in the competition for the last couple of weeks, and that basically is his time and he's going to do it. Which then out comes Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler comes and basically was talking to both Daniel Bryan and Cesaro, talking about how he's going to win the Royal Rumble and go on to WrestleMania because he want that payday. He want that nice big payday. So he's saying he's going to be the one to win and go to WrestleMania. Daniel Bryan, also, I forgot to mention that Daniel Bryan got mad in the middle of that promo and wanted to fight Cesaro, but Daniel Bryan wasn't in ring gear, but he was going to fight him anyway. But Cesaro says, since I already beat you last week, it's open challenge to anyone who want to come out and face me that think they could win the Royal Rumble. And that's why Dolph Ziggler comes out and basically start cutting his little promo about him going to the Royal Rumble, winning, and again going to WrestleMania for that healthy payday. So, which gives us our next match of the night, which is Cesaro versus Dolph Ziggler, and that was a good back and forth match. It had its good spots. Did I care for it? Not really. Did it have even though it has good spots and good moments? Did I care for it? Not really, but hey, as a wrestling fan, I still watched it, right? So Cesaro ended up beating Dolph Ziggler. I think he beat him and then he was clean too. Like, he beat him clean. So then we getting hyped. We getting the matches hyped up, for the Reginald, the Sasha versus Reginald. Then we got a backstage promo from a little backstage promo with the Street Profits and Sonya Deville. And now the thing with Sonya Deville is that yes, she's back, though she's not back as a competitor. So she's not like the assistant to Adam Pearce, as you want to say. That's her new job now. She got her own office and everything. She's the assistant to Adam Pearce. She basically helped Adam Pearce make matches and stuff because he has to bounce back and forth between Raw and SmackDown. So she's also his co-assistant now. So basically now she's co-assisting him, and the Street Profits approached her about, since they say it's been 2 weeks since they got their rematch for the SmackDown's Tag Team Championships, and they want a rematch. But she shuts it down, telling Montez Ford that one of the reasons why they haven't gotten the rematch yet is that he's still recovering from his leg injury that was given to him by Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. Which I also want to bring up. It seems like it was people missing. Like, I don't know if you guys noticed that, but it felt like people was missing, like from tonight's episode of SmackDown. Like, why was people missing? Why were people missing? But hey, I don't know why, but I guess they was missing. But it's just felt like people was missing. Like, there was no Robert Roode, no Shinsuke Nakamura, no Jey Uso. Like, it was a lot of people missing from tonight that would have made the story, that would have made some of these promos and some of these stories a little bit more better. But that was just me, right? I don't know. Let me know in the comments if y'all felt the same. But yeah, so the promo, they basically asked Sonya for their rematch. She says no. because he's still injured. It'd be bad for SmackDown. She gives him the rematch and he gets further injured and put on the shelf to where he can't wrestle for a long periods of time, and it'd be bad for SmackDown. So she told him to continue. They continue doing backstage promos, continue hyping up SmackDown, and that they're gonna let some other tag teams get some opportunities at the titles, and that when they get better, when Montez Ford's knee is fully healed 100%, he will get. They will both get a title opportunity when that happens. So then we get to the first unique match of the night, which is Sasha Banks versus Reginald. That match was more enjoyable than more enjoyable than I actually thought I would enjoy. Like it honestly, we knew it was coming because other promotions was doing it, especially TNA. They had their own intergender matches where they actually had full matches where a woman wrestling a man, and even the woman became she held the top man's title. She became the world heavyweight TNA's world heavyweight champion at one point. So it was like, we knew it was coming to WWE, but I was hoping that for them to do it in a nice, tasteful way. And we saw it coming. The way how they was building this feud around, Carmella and Sasha Banks and this Reginald guy. You saw that eventually, and how he kept interjecting himself in the matches and stepping up to Sasha. You eventually saw, Sasha's going to eventually challenge him to a match just because he keeps interfering and pissing her off, right? So they finally pulled the trigger on that, and this week that's what we got. We got Sasha Banks versus Reginald. The match was good. He actually, I'm convinced now that Reginald is just like, is probably like not NXT, but he was probably one of those guys that was in the training facility, the WWE training facility, and they called him up to be like Carmella's little sommelier. And now he's so in ring presence, like he got some in ring skills. So, and it was back and forth. It was a nice little match. It was worked really well. Sasha was able to pull off some moves that she normally couldn't pull off. Unless it was against a guy in the ring, because the guy had the strength to hold her up and do and whatnot. I don't know. I could be wrong, but it was like she was able to do a lot more because to piggyback off of his strength than she could in normal matches. But they both showed athletic prowess. They both showed athletic skills. It was a good athletic feat. It wasn't nothing too impressive. Not oppressive. Not enough moves. They wasn't doing enough moves. They wasn't doing oppressive moves. But it was athletic. They showed athleticism. But at the end, she ended up beating Reginald like everybody knew she would with the bank statement. And then what we get? Then we got Big E versus Apollo Crews for the Intercontinental Championship, and Big E, and it was a good match. But this is why you finally figure out. This is why Sami Zayn handcuffed himself and stayed to protest. He was only going to stay around until this Intercontinental Championship match. And it was funny, like every time somebody come out, and they still been doing impressively, by the way, with the intros and stuff. But when he came, everybody came out for their match. They had Sami Zayn standing out with his sign picketing, so it was a nice little touch there too. But yeah, so Big E and them had a great match. Or would have been a great match. They was going back and forth until Sami Zayn got mad, interfered, and caused a DQ by getting Big E disqualified by hitting Apollo Crews. Whoever, if you watch the video, you gotta be a wrestling fan, so you know how DQs work. Whoever you hit gets the other person disqualified. So you go in there and hit the challenger, the champion gets disqualified. You hit the champion, the challenger gets disqualified. So he hit Apollo Crews, getting Big E disqualified. And then he hit Big E with the Haluna. He hit Apollo Crews with the Haluna kick, and then he hit Big E with the Haluna kick. But now it basically just to see them pissing both Big E and Apollo Crews off. And yeah, that's how that match ended. Then you got the Bianca Belair and Bay's athletic ultimate athlete challenge. And short, I'm not gonna go through it all. It was just a stupid way to try to get Bayley for Bayley to try to get herself over Bianca, but Bianca ended up winning because, of course, Bianca in real life has done that stuff in real life. She ran track and all that, so she ended up winning the Ultimate Athletic Challenge, beating Bayley. Bayley gets mad and ended up beating up Bianca Belair and leaving her in the wallowing pain. There was a squash match between Dominic Mysterio and King Corbin I could really care less about. It wasn't. I didn't really care. I don't really at the moment care about the Dominic Mysterio and Baron Corbin match at all. I could have cared less about that. But yeah, then we got to the last match of the night, which is Adam Pearce versus Paul Heyman. Though we all knew that it was going to be some type of trickery, they ended up pulling the fast one over Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce, they did to Adam Pearce what he did to them last week. Paul Heyman came out ready for his match, but then he faked like he had a leg injury, and he says he told Adam Pearce, the thing is, card subject to change. So it really was a way for Roman Reigns to come out and beat up on Adam Pearce, which he did. Like he beat up on Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce tried to fight back a little bit. It was the bell never actually rang either. It was just them fighting. Then Kevin Owens came and attacked. Roman Reigns, and he made his statement about the fact that he might win, and that was the end of the night. Overall, I give the show 8 big ups, just because it was a nice show. It had a nice, decent promos. It was some matches and segments I didn't like, and it's just because they were just boring, straight up boring. Like I could care less. It was some things I did like. It would kept me entertained, but overall, 8 big ups. The show was good. It kept me entertained. And it was a decent outing. It was still proves that why it's the best. You like this? Like more of this? Keep hitting that like, subscribe, and share notification button. To the next one. Peace.